Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday, as wonderful as it can be with everything that's going on right now. We have a lot to be thankful for. If we're breathing, if we're working, if we're able to meet our bills and feed our families and do those essential things that we need to do. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you is Governor Cuomo is really looking forward to the time when he can start to lift this New York pause, which is the name that he gave the shutdown, which we're now approaching about a month of when that first started, when only essential workers could be going to work. So the governor said that there's a lot of good news. There's a lot of hopeful news. The death rate is still very high. It's about 758 people. It's hovering around there, which is still a lot of people. And that's a tremendous concern. But the rate of death is slowing. The rate of hospitalizations is slowing. The rate of intubations is slowing. And what Governor Cuomo says that means is it means that people are following these measures that they've been advising us to do from the very beginning, which is stay home, practice social distancing, and wear protective gear, like these masks when you're out. So the governor says as he looks forward to the future, people should not expect this to be like a light switch and you just turn the light switch on and all of a sudden we're all back to normal. It's going to be a phased in, probably section by section reopening. I don't mean section in terms of neighborhood. I mean in terms of industries or jobs or that type of thing. So what the governor says is we are making progress. We have flattened the curve. A lot of New Yorkers have done the best thing that we could possibly do, which is to stop the spread. He said quite frankly, quite blatantly, quite clearly, we have stopped the spread of the disease. However, all of that progress can be erased if people do not continue to follow the stay home, the social distancing, and wearing protective gear. So he issued today an executive order, which is going to require everybody to wear a mask anywhere you're outside, anywhere you're, in a public place like a store, if you cannot be at least 6 feet away from anybody else. So if you don't have a mask, you can cover your face, you can cover your face with a scarf, or like I did the other day with a bandana, but it might not be a bad idea to try to get your hands on some of these masks. The state has also mandated employers must provide masks to their workers, period, end of story. And in terms of wearing the mask, the governor feels so strongly about this that as of Friday, that's this coming weekend, that in order to get on a bus or a city bus or the subway system, you will not be allowed to get onto the bus or into the subway system unless you're wearing a mask. Again, it can be a bandana, it can be a scarf, it can be a piece of cloth, something you've made yourself, or it can be one of these, and you need to have that on in order to get into the system. They're not going to be fining people, he said right now, but you will be turned away. Now, in partnership with that, Mayor de Blasio today announced that he's enacting a law or rule where if you go into a grocery store, and I think that includes our little neighborhood delis and that type of thing that we depend on so much, if you are going into a grocery store or food store, you must wear a mask. And if you don't have a mask and you try to go in the store owner, the security, the clerks, the cashier, whoever's in there, the store workers can ask you to please leave, and you have to by law leave, because they don't want people in there spreading any types of germs. And we know now from what the researchers have said that 25 to 50%, think about that, 50% of the people that are, test positive, that have coronavirus, show absolutely no symptoms and may not even get sick. So you could be spreading it. You can go like, oh, I haven't been sick this whole year. I'm not at risk. I don't need to wear a mask. You could be breathing out on somebody or sneezing out or coughing out on somebody, and you could be giving them the coronavirus. So I don't know how you guys feel. I want this thing to be over. I think, I think the big impact of this is going to be the economic impact. Stimulus checks are supposed to be there. A lot of people are not getting them as fast as they need them. So in terms of Governor Cuomo, this mask thing is serious. You need to have it. I would not even go out of the house without having something that you can at least put to cover your face. And when the governor says face covering, he means something that will cover your nose and cover your mouth before you go out. So that was a big announcement today. Now, the death rate is still very high. It's around 750 people a day, almost for the last week or so. It's still very high. But the governor says a lot of those patients, those people who are passing away, and my thoughts and prayers to them and to their families, are people that have been on ventilators for a very long time. So they get to the hospital late, or they have pre-existing conditions. And once you go on the ventilator, which is that intubation, the tube that goes down your throat for breathing, once you go on that, it's very, very hard to come off it. And a lot of people don't make it. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. So the most important thing we have to keep in mind is get your hands on a mask, get your hands on something to cover your face, because we need to really double down on this and just get this whole lockdown thing lifted so that we can start to go about doing what we need to do. Now, another issue that came up today, Mayor de Blasio announced something that I want to let everybody know about. And you might want to get a pen or paper ready. I'll put it in the post as well, in my copy. You know, the little stories that I write after the video in my post. And that is the governor is the mayor is announcing a huge new program to feed New Yorkers. It's going to be based on some of the things that already exist, some of these community-based programs, like we've seen with Danny Barber, Michael Blake, World Chef Kitchen with Chef Jose Andres, the work that they're doing in the Bronx. And shout out to all the restaurant owners and all the members of the hip hop community who've been out there helping them get that food out there. So that they're going to be building up on those kinds of things. They've also hired 11,000 livery drivers, what I call livery drivers, but you know, car service drivers like the Uber, the Lyft drivers, the other neighborhood-based ones. They have enlisted 11,000 of them, the ones that have the TLC license, to serve as delivery people to bring meals to homebound people, to disabled people, to people that cannot go out to these meal hubs. Now remember, every day you can pick up a free meal, grab and go meal. You can pick up, as they say, 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for yourself, for your neighbors, for as many, you know, however many people you need. Not like 2 dozen, but, you know, like for a family, outside of the city schools from 7:30 to 11:30 for the parents with children, 11:30 to 1:30 for single adults that are going in there. So the important thing is there is food available. He named the former sanitation commissioner, Catherine Garcia, as the food czar. She's going to be overseeing this whole thing. Now, if you want information about this, because there's a lot of people that before this whole pandemic happened, as a matter of fact, 1.4 million people that were what they call food insecure, that basically they didn't know where the next meal was coming from, or they didn't know where tomorrow's meal was coming from. That makes me crazy, and that makes me so sad. So I'm really glad that the mayor he's putting $170 million behind this program. They're putting a lot of money behind it, and I want everybody that needs it to be able to take advantage of it. There's no shame at all whatsoever to this. Everybody is, you know, a lot of people are falling short right now in terms of money. A lot of people need help in terms of food. And also, too, there are people that are signing up for these food programs and going to these meal giveaways simply because the grocery stores in their neighborhoods either don't have what they need, they're short, you know, they're short on supplies, or they just don't have enough money because some of the prices are more expensive than they're supposed to be for those items. So if you go to nyc.gov/feedingny, you will find more information about that, okay? And this is a very important thing. You need to let people know. And I want to say this especially to my street soldiers, especially my Hot 97 street soldiers and our hip hop community. This is a great thing. If you have extra time, if you're working from home, or if you're underemployed, or if you just have a little time, or if you just want to do something really good, why not check with the seniors in your building? Why not check with the people who you know have a disabled child? You know, some of these parents who are dealing with a disabled child or special needs child or children, and see, hey, listen, I'm going to go to the meal hub. I'm going to go to one of these meal hubs. Can I pick you up something? Or just go pick it up and bring it back and say, hey, I just picked up some stuff for my family. I have some extras. Do you guys want some? Can you use it? Or whatever. These meals that they're putting out are all wrapped up. So it's not like you're going through a food line and they're slapping it, you know, on a plate or a tray. They are giving that to you in wrapped up in good packages and healthy food and fresh food. So please do that. Let's do that. It'd be a really great help to everybody in our communities. So that's the big thing that the mayor announced. He's saying don't go in a grocery store without a face mask. Governor's saying don't try to get on a subway or train without a face mask or a face covering. Don't go out in public if there's people around. If you can't practice and if you can't practice social distancing, make sure you have your face covered or have a face mask. These are the things that we need to be doing right now. Nobody likes doing them, but you know what? It can always be a lot worse because we've seen what's going on in these nursing homes. We've seen what families are going through as they're losing loved ones. Imagine not being able to say goodbye to your mom or your father or your grandfather or your grandmother. Imagine that you can't be with them when they're sick because they are quarantined because they have coronavirus. You know, it's the most vulnerable people that we really have to be concerned about. Even if we feel good, even if, you know, we're not sick, we need to really think about this. This is when our community needs to come together. This is when we need to come together as people. And we're doing really well. We're doing much better than what they predicted. They predicted a lot worse than what we're going through right now. Believe me, in terms of the numbers, in terms of the projections, in terms of the numbers of deaths. And we're doing really well, but we need to keep doing it. We need to double down, and we need to make sure that everybody knows about that. And we need to spread as much information as possible. We've been trying to put it out for you on Instagram, on Street Soldiers Instagram, on my Instagram. We've been trying to put it out for you on hot97.com, the whole digital team there, under Lou Mercado and everybody. They've been putting it all out. So the information is there. You need to find it. And if you don't need that kind of help, you know what? Pass it on to somebody who might, and just say, hey, pass it on. The way you would pass on a viral video or, you know, some hot picture of somebody. Pass that on because it is going to make a difference. So just remember, time to get with the program and have a great night. I hope you're planning to join us Saturday, 10 a.m. for another episode live of Street Soldiers. I'm going to take your telephone calls and leave me some comments or questions here, and we'll get to them, okay? I love you guys. We're going to get through this. We're doing really well. Not going to say it's still going to be easy, but we're doing a lot better. And let's get with the program and we can all get past this together, okay? I love you.